This is Penn Woods interviewing for the Oklahoma Living Legends in June of, or May of 1982 at the Tinker family reunion, and I am visiting with Mr. Jim Revard, and I want you to Revard, and I want you to spell that last name.
It's R-E-V-A-R-D, Revard.
Revard. Now he lives in San Antonio, Texas, I understand, and were you born here at?
Born right here in Pawhuska, yeah. 1909, November the 26th.
Mr. Revard, I wonder to start with if you'll tell us a little bit about your family background, who your father and mother were.
Well, my father, my father was Charles Edward Revard. My mother was her last name was Quisenberry, Ola Mary Quisenberry.
Mm-hmm. What is your Tinker relationship?
Well, Aunt Louise Tinker and my father, the Tinkers, and my father was sister and brother, and it just grew out from there.
Yes.
And they were all related to the Revards, and Revards were all related to the Tinkers.
Mm-hmm. Are you now? You're what part Osage are you, and with your family?
Well, I'm a 532nd Osage, and of course my father's a little more than that. I guess 5/16 or something like that.
Was your mother Osage? Or
no, mother was white. She was born in Sedan, Kansas, and. Of course, father, I think, was born in Oregon, and then they migrated on down into this part of the country here. Yeah.
What now? What are the things you first remember in this part of the country in Pawhuska?
Oh, land!
A long time ago.
I don't remember much. You see, I was only about 6 or 7 years old when my folks moved to Texas. Yeah. It was in 1917. My father went to San Antonio. We all went to San Antonio to see my oldest brother, Ed, who was in the Army there, and they was going to ship him out overseas. And my father decided we'd go up and visit him before he left. Well, he never did. We never did move back to Oklahoma. We stayed in Texas.
That was in World War I.
Yeah. We lived in San Antonio for some time, and then moved to Corpus Christi, Texas. And then they had a big storm. I think it was 1919. They had a big storm in Corpus Christi, and he sold out everything there and moved to the Rio Grande Valley, and bought a big orange orchard there. And he wasn't satisfied with the oranges, so he sold that and bought a big ranch up close to Rio Grande City, about 4 miles west of Rio Grande City. And, of course, my baby sister and I, we went to school there. And they didn't have American books. We studied Mexican books.
Oh.
Our school teacher rowed the boat across the Rio Grande River every morning to teach school. And we got to where we could talk as good as Mexican as any of them could. Any of the Mexicans could. We could read it and write it and speak it very, very well, fluently. And still can, as far as that goes. And then my mother was standing on the porch one day, and she called my father out there. And we were playing out there as kids, and we were talking Mexican. We got to where we wouldn't hardly talk English anymore. We would just talk Mexican. And she told my father, she said, "Charlie, we're moving out of here. I'm not going to raise a bunch of damn Mexicans." So we moved back to San Antonio and lived there. Oh, I lived there until 1929. And I met a girl here in Oklahoma, Martha Griffin, a full-blood Quapaw Indian girl, and we married. We had one daughter, and she passed away, and I moved back to San Antonio and met a full-blood Osage girl that lived in San Antonio. Her name was Mary Penn, and we married. And then we lived together, 10, 11 years, and she passed away. Then I married another girl from San Antonio. Her name was Velma Hassel. I married her.
No Indian relationship there.
No. She's no Indian at all. She's pure white man.
Rather interesting to be, in San Antonio, down Texas, and you married two Indians, full-blood Indian of Oklahoma.
That's right. That's right.
Probably you didn't come back to Oklahoma again.
Well, I did. I moved back to Oklahoma and lived in Miami, Oklahoma, about, I guess we lived there 2 or 3 years, then moved back to Texas again. And my second wife, the Osage girl, her and I moved. She was from Hominy, and she had 2 sisters there, and we moved back there with them, and we lived there about a year, I guess, and then moved back to Texas again. So it's just Texas in my blood, and I can't get out of it.
What was your business? What has been your business?
Well, I got a job as a deputy sheriff in San Antonio, Bexar County, working for Sheriff Owen Kilday. And I worked with him until 1942. And in the meantime, I had a band. I had organized a band way back in 1930. Called the Oklahoma Playboys, Jimmy Revard and his Oklahoma Playboys. And we recorded, made records for RCA Victor Recording Company, and we became America's leading Western swing band. Back in those days, they called it fiddle band music.
Yeah.
And old breakdowns and old two-steps and old-time waltzes. And by the way, I wrote the Tulsa Waltz. That is my number. And it was one of our biggest hits with RCA Victor. And then we quit them and went to recording for Decca Recording Company and recorded for them some time. And then we quit Decca Recording Company and started with the Columbia Recording Company. And we recorded with them for some time. And then I quit them, and now I'm recording with the Mutual Music Corporation of America. And Europe.
Still recording.
Still recording. In fact, I just last week made a new album for them. There'll be 12 numbers on the album, 6 on a side.
When did you form your Oklahoma Playboys?
In 1930.
And that before Bob Wills had the Playboys?
Oh yeah. Bob Wills was playing with the Light Quest Doughboys out of Fort Worth then, on Light Quest Doughboy program. And then later on, about 1935, they let Bob Wills go, and he came to San Antonio and stayed with me about 3 weeks. And then he came to Tulsa and organized his own band, and I think they stayed together about a year, and they broke up, and he came back to San Antonio and stayed with me a few days, and then went on back to Fort Worth. Then from there he came back to Tulsa and started the band up again, and that time he made it.
Bob had problems with W. Leo Daniel.
Oh, well, Bob was quite a drinker, you know. That was their trouble.
And W. Lee was quite a non-fighter.
Yeah, he was a Baptist.
So they didn't fit.
They just didn't fit one another.
I read an article. It was in the Oklahoman just 2 weeks ago about you might, while you're here, look for it somewhere. It's Orbit magazine, but it's about Bob Wills, and he talked about his escapades with W. Leo Daniel and so forth. It was a very interesting thing. Did you ever play with Bob Wills?
Oh no, I never did play with him. I could have had him playing for me though. He would have played for me, but I couldn't use him. I had a lot. I'll just say I've already had 3 violins playing.
Yeah.
And see, I had a 10-piece band then, and we were rated America's leading Western swing band.
And what was your band called?
Jimmy Revard and his Oklahoma Playboys.
Yeah.
So, but starting the Western swing music, we was playing old fiddle band music, and everybody just plays for himself and that, So I told them, I said, boys, we're going to have to get a rhythm deal in our band. We're going to have to get something that people can dance by. So they said, well, what are you going to do? Well, I said, we'll buy some records, Benny Goodman records and those big-time band records, and listen to their beat. And we'll try to get it, which we did. And then they said, well, what are you going to call it? I said, I'm going to call it Western Swing Music. And I am the originator of Western Swing Music. And I had a couple of my men to quit me. They said I would never make it, but we went on and became the America's leading Western Swing band. And I have some of my numbers of my band, and my numbers that I wrote myself are in the Hall of Fame in Nashville.
What are some of the other numbers you wrote yourself?
Oh, my goodness alive.
Some of the better numbers.
Well, the Tulsa Waltz and My Little Girl, I Love You, and It's My Time Now, and Having a Man Around, Please Won't You Set Me Free, and I could just go on all day, but I can't. When you want to think of them, you can't do it.
What do you now? You say, what is your group called now that you're working with?
It's still the Oklahoma Playboys.
Still called the
Oh
Oklahoma
yes,
Playboys.
it's copyrighted name.
I see. How many do you have? How many are you playing now?
8.
8 of you.
Yeah, eight are playing now.
What sort of music are you playing now?
Western swing.
Same thing.
Western.
Same
Yeah,
as you were.
same.
You haven't switched to
No,
rock or anything?
no, we won't cut that. We can. We do play it once in a while, but we don't practice it. And I brought a box of my recordings with me. I'm going to put them in there on the table pretty soon and let people take one that want one.
I'll pick up one. I'll dub one of them on this tape to go behind your interview.
Oh, great!
I think that'd be real great.
Great.
Because
Yeah.
They'll come and start tonight, and I'll just make the dubbing behind this tape.
Oh, that'll be great.
Once you got that going, were you putting full time into your music?
Oh yes.
After that,
Yeah.
you got it going.
Yeah, I put full time. Well, we traveled all over the nation.
So you've been in it for how many years now?
Oh my gosh, 50 some odd years. Yeah, that's going to be the title of my new album coming out. It'll be 50 Years of Western Swing.
Well,
Jimmy Revard and his Oklahoma Playboys.
that's great.
Yeah.
Why don't you think of some of the experiences in playing that have been most interesting to you that you've had in connection with your band and with the places you played?
Oh my,
Some of the funny, interesting.
Well,
or other things.
I am the only and first Western band that ever played for the inauguration of the President of Mexico City, President Alemán.
When was that?
1956, I believe. Yeah, we went over there and we played the inauguration of his presidential election, and they were 7 bands of us playing. These other bands were all Mexican bands, and we were the only American band there. And about 10 o'clock, this one of his big shots came around and was telling everybody they could pack up and go. And we started packing up, and he said, "Oh, no, you stay. So all the other bands got to go, and we had to stay there and play. But we didn't quit playing until daylight the next morning. They danced all night long to our music. And there wasn't no Mexican bands left there at all. It was just us, and we played all night long for them.
Tremendous. Think of what other major events that you can think of like that you made?
Well, I played the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, and several of the big stars, and Ernest Tubb, Roy A. Cupp, and I knew them way before they even started playing. Ernest Tubb used to come up to our radio program. He had an old
Where was that?
in San Antonio, and over radio station KTSA, and he had an old patched up, beat up guitar, and had a cotton rope tied around his neck, and he rode a bicycle. And he used to come up to our radio programs all the time, and listen to us, and sing a song once in a while on our radio program. And then he got to Nashville somewhere and got big, and really made it big. He's one of the big boys now, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of him, because he sure is a nice fellow.
It's rather interesting. You were down in San Antonio playing radio and playing Tulsa Waltz, and Bob Wills was up here on the Tulsa radio playing San Antonio Rose.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Interesting concept.
Well, we played a big to-do in Joplin, Missouri. I think this was about 1933. They called us in San Antonio, and we came to Joplin, Missouri to play. And going back to San Antonio, we were going through Tulsa. It was about midnight. No, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I told one of the boys, Adolph Hoffner, one of my singers, I told him, I said, get your pencil and paper out. We got a song. And I started writing the Tulsa Waltz. We were going through Tulsa, and I started. That's where we started. That's where the Tulsa Waltz started. And by the time we got home, I had it finished. But I've never heard no one play it right, the way it should be played. They don't know it all. There's 3 different parts to the Tulsa Waltz. And all I ever hear anyone play, even Bob Wills didn't play it right. And they only play one part of it. But there's 3 different parts to it.
Been lots of songs written about Tulsa.
Oh, land, yeah.
Probably as many as any time
yeah.
there is.
And I just wrote another one about Texas.
Did you?
It's on this record. I want to be a Texas cowboy.
Oh.
And on the other side of that is a beautiful number. It's a slow number. My mom, my dad, and me. That's a very pretty number too. That's on that record that you'll get.
The what was your? Do you have any what they call gold records? Isn't the gold record a million sales?
Yeah,
Do you have any gold records?
Yeah, the Tulsa Waltz.
Tulsa Waltz, a gold record.
Yeah, it's a gold record.
Was that your first gold record?
Yeah, that was my first gold record. Yeah, and then I've had several others, and that came right up to the million mark, but didn't get to it. I don't know.
You should have bought a few.
Yeah, I had several numbers, and then we recorded a number written by Milton Brown of the Musical Brownies out of San Angelo, Texas, was Trouble in Mind. We recorded that after him, and we just came within some 20 or 30,000 records of going hitting a million on it. And My Little Girl, I Love You, and My Mary, and just a bunch of numbers like that. We just got up into the 800,000 and 900,000s, but didn't go over the top.
Did you know Wiley and Jean in Oklahoma City?
No.
Wiley Walker and Gene Sullivan?
No, I sure didn't.
Gene is still. Gene was the fiddle player. He has a recording studio here, and he does. He records principally country.
Yeah.
But you didn't know them.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't know them.
Mm-hmm. Who were some of the others of the? What about Gene Autry? Of course, he was.
I knew him personally, and I knew Roy Rogers, and we played a couple of shorts with him.
Oh, did you?
With Gene and what's the name? I don't mean Gene, but Roy and
Dale.
Yeah, Roy and Dale. Yeah, we made a couple of shorts with them.
Shorts, what, movie?
Movie shorts.
Mm-hmm. What were they? What were they in? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. It was way back in the middle 40s.
Yeah.
Or late 40s that we did. No, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was way back there.
People are fickle on music. I mean, the sort of music that they like. Do you find that your Western swing? Now, your Western swing, do you do country as well as Western?
Oh yeah.
Do you find that your what have you found? Of course, the country today. So much country today is really half country and half rock.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But do you find that your basic country audience stays with the same style, or do they swing over to rock?
No, they well, now some of them go a little on the rock side, but then they always go back to the country.
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of them are going country western now, western swing music. And there's about 5 western swing bands in the nation now. Charlie Daniels out of Nashville, and Adolph Hoffner and the Texans, and myself, the Oklahoma Playboys, Jimmy Revard. And there's another band up in Colorado somewhere. It is a very good western swing band. But there isn't very many of us left. But the western swing music is coming back.
Yes.
And it's coming back big. And we're going to be the heads of it.
What about Minnie Pearl? You ever work with her?
Oh, I know her real well. Yeah, she's the sweetest thing. Yeah, Len, yes, I know Minnie Pearl. Yeah, she's a very, very sweet person.
Lots of showmanship.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah.
Quite an audience.
And she's one of those ladies that don't have her nose up in the air.
Yeah.
If she knows that she's going to holler at you if it's clear across the street, she'll holler at you.
Yeah. What is your relationship to General Tinker? Are you a cousin there? Or do you
well, it would have to be a cousin. Yes, but
you were
but
not acquainted with him.
No, I wasn't. You see, Uncle Frank Tinker, as far as I can remember back, and he's the one that.
He's the nearest.
Yeah.
relationship you
Yeah.
have. The lady I interviewed just prior to you was the youngest sister of General Tinker. And had a lot of personal comments.
Yeah.
You think of any others of the show people that you have worked with or come across, particularly some of the Oklahoma ones that you may have known?
No, not other than Bob.
Gene Autry's partially Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know it. No, I never did work with Gene Autry.
Yeah.
I never did work with him. But I knew him. And I was out. I visited with him out on some of his on some of his shots, on some of his sites.
Yes.
But I didn't. I never did play with him. Yeah.
You think in the playing area of any other experiences, funny things, exciting things, interesting things, or observations that you might have in your band playing over the years?
Oh my!
What's the most memorable outside of your Mexico inauguration? What's the most memorable occasion?
Well, I'll tell you the best thing that ever happened to any band was my band. I think there never was no drinking in my band.
Right.
Nobody ever drank. No, and when we went to play a job, we were always there, and we were there on time. And when we quit, they always got a little extra time with the band, and we played some of the largest places in the country, I guess, and especially all through Texas, Dallas, and Houston, Fort Worth, Waco, and San Angelo, Amarillo, El Paso. We played all over Texas.
This is great. Do you come back for the reunion very often? Or have you been back?
No, this is the first time I've been back. Yeah.
It's quite
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but there isn't hardly any of us left in the Revards.
Yeah.
There's only 2 that I know of out of the old Revard, my father's and his brother's families, and that's me and one of Uncle Joe's boys who lives in New Brownsville, Texas. His name is Paul.
Well, it's been real great to visit with you, and I want to save some. I want to put the. I'm on the rest that side of the tape. I want to copy your record, put it right on there.
Right.
And so we'll introduce that. The name of the record is what?
It's Jimmy Revard and his Oklahoma Playboys.
Jimmy Revard and his
And
Oklahoma
on
Playboys.
one side is I Want to Be a Texas Cowboy, and the other side is my mom, my dad, and me.
We'll put that on the remainder of this tape, and I sure thank you a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.